name. Warren Zaire Emery. Christ knows how Barts would pronounce that if I didn't do it. But a young talent from France. A lot of games for an 18-year-old kid. And the excitement around this, Barts, is Sam Maguire put a story out. So shout out to Sam. We know how reliable his information is, that Liverpool very much like this kid. And if there's any chance at all, they will be there. And when we did a bit of digging on it, and as always comes out with the Sam story, people were like, yeah, absolutely, there is interest. Now, the info we got on this part from sort of the analyst on the other side was, yeah, superb passer, excellent passer. That is one to keep an eye on. And as the phrase was used to me, I don't know if this is a phrase you guys come across or not, a space eater, covers massive distances on the pitch in routine. So I'm not being funny, Barts, when you hear a young kid, over 100 appearances, played in the Champions League, thought of highly, space eater, covers big distances, excellent passer. It strikes a lot of the right notes. Now, I know when you've been starting to look at these stats for an 18-year-old kid, there's stuff to like in this one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, start as always with, minutes played always gives a good indication about where he is. So I think fair to say last season was his breakthrough season, right? He went up from short of 1,000 to nearly 2,000 minutes. So that's incredibly good. Went from 1090s to 21. This season, I don't know where the French are in the league, but anyway, they're about halfway, should we say. He's on 1,300. So he will smash his career high in terms of minutes. Probably would come in around 2,500, which is a 25% increase. Pretty good for a 25-year-old, I would say. That's very, very good though. If we look at his assists, he's not. I'll tell you some other stats in a minute, but he's not really in the side to do that. If I'm being honest with you, if you're saying he's going to play a part of a double pivot, which is what your information is and a few others. That's not really his game. And actually, to be fair, that hasn't really moved much last season. So that's not, XG 0.6. Again, you wouldn't expect your double pivot to be doing that. Assist-wise, 0.7. It's half of what he was doing last season. And XGA is a little bit less. But that's not really what he's in the side for. Passing, as you say, completion, 90, 92. That is... Wow. That's something else. That's pretty good. 77 on top of these per 90. So this is progressive passes. So that's the pass that moves the ball more threatening towards the goal by 20% or 20 yards, depending on what metric you use. That's consistent. So 5.3 a game. He's now 5.2 a game. So that's not dropped off. That's really good. Yeah. So passes into the final third. He's again just below what it was last year, but that's not a problem. That's pretty good. Long pass completion is dropped off a little bit, and he's completing more, which is a little bit weird. So he's attempting more. So he's taking more risks with his long passing, which is not too bad. Short though, that is 96% is on average for this season. So that's his highest he would have done. Highest he would have carried. Passes distance. He's up at 980, whereas last season he finished at 896. So he's already passed the distance. And this is per 90, by the way. So this is already what he's passing, he's doing per game. That is so he's passing he's making nearly 10 more passes a game than he did last season. So he's upped his level of his volume in terms of passing. Pass type, I don't really give you a lot for a 6, to be honest with you. In terms of defensive actions, so tackles about the same. Tackles, it can be a bit of a weird one because that kind of show you might be out of position and that kind of thing. But he's not. What I'm trying to say here? These are not dropped off by any way, shape, or form. Defensive third where he needs to be, he's pretty much bang on where he was last season. Tackles are about pretty much bang on where he was last season. Blocks, he's actually gone up a bit, which probably could indicate that he's in better position to block. Rather than make the tackle. Interceptions 1.3, so that could be that he's tracking the passing lane better and making an interception. So that's gone up a bit. So he's up by half a game than he was last season. So that's good. Some of the other stuff to keep an eye on. Aerial duels. So this has increased, but it's still not high. I mean, he's winning to 10% more than he was last season. He's only 35% average a game, which is lowish, considering our sixth. He sits in front and helps out. I haven't got his. How high is he? No, I don't know how. 173. That someone had to convert that for me. That seems a little bit small, but not too small.
Yeah.
So I have to look that up. But because one of the criticisms of some of our players is big attributes, he's tall, he's physical, so you need to get someone similar to him. Looking at dashboard stuff with him, this is PSG. They get a lot of the ball, so it's not going to show you anything massive that you don't already know. He's averaging 85. I mean, that's he's on the ball a lot. If he's playing a double pivot with PSG, he's going to get a lot of the ball. This shouldn't be mind-blowing to people. This should be like, oh, yeah, okay, that's roughly what it is. So this is saying he's on 5 touches or passes nearly every minute in the first half, yeah? So that's kind of what you expect. He's then involved in passing chains up to 10. Yeah, again, it shouldn't be a shock. This is kind of what PSG do. The stuff that is interesting is he's involved in passes into the left half space and to the right half space. That's interesting for 6. He's playing deep and he's making those passes. Okay, I'll take that. If we look at in terms of how does he profile against his team, 62% draw rate, good, not too bad. 4% of EPV, that's not far off what Grab is doing at the moment. So that's not bad. 78% is not a great game for him since he's in the 90s, but there you go. Had about 10% of possession. So I got his receiving success now. So yeah, there's a lot there's some bits to like here. If you look at his metrics, bang on, good aerials, good passing, nothing really failing there apart from the shots. But again, that's okay if we're playing him for a double pivot. We're not asking him to go and do that. So EPV, what does he do off the ball? How does he help out? So I can't see him here. He is. Stops 88%, which is good. Lost 12%. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine. If we look at where he is, the little pocket here will appear in. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good portion of their defensive actions. So that's just under 10 in the boxes that he will control. So that is even more in the first half versus second half split. So again, off the ball, he's doing the stuff that you would expect. And then we look at XG, he's not really involved in that. So we're not going to beat him up with stuff with it. Yeah. But some of the bits that people might not be aware of is if you look at, so Mark Arstad does a thing about looking at some deeper line metrics like XT and gives you a per player, which you won't necessarily see on some other sites. So this is Ryan Gravenberch's line. Okay, so XT per 90 is 0.11, right? Progressive passes 2.8, 1.34 for progressive carries, plenty of box carries 0.2, and progressive receives 0.34. I think that's right, isn't it? Progressive, as a receiver. So that's right, and he's having a good season. Yeah, that's not Gravenberch. He's having a good season, right? This is this kid who's younger, 0.7, it's only 3% off. 2.7 progressive passes. Grav is at 2.8, right? Progressive carries 1.99. Grav is at 1.34. So the kids do better. Penalty box 0.31. Grav is 0.2. Kids do better. Progressive as a receiver. So what does he do when he receives it? 4.4. Grav is 3.35. So considering this kid is 4 years younger than Grav, right? I've got that right. Grav's 22. Yeah. There is a lot to like. There's some embers here. I get some of the guys saying, oh, yeah, I prefer Vinier, and that's fine. But this kid's 18. This kid is not. This is a youngster who's got some attributes there that are similar to some of our more established stars. And just to follow that up, that is an F-brief wagon wheel comparison with Grav. Yeah, so Grav obviously dominates him a little bit on aerials and tackles and the rest of it. Fine, yeah. But if you look at shot creating actions, passes attempted, pass completion, non-put XA, all the goals, this kid outperforms Gravenberch, who's having probably one of his best seasons of his career. Yeah, so that for an 18-year-old, there's a lot to like there. Aerials, okay, that could be, his height thing would probably be the only concern because I'm not 178. He's probably 5 centimeters, a little bit short. But there's a lot to like in that kid. If you could pick him up for, I don't know what you might know about the price. If you can pick him up for not a lot of money and PSG are willing to sell, that's that could be a good backup. Or not backup, but you know what I mean. A player to have that will play minutes like Endo does, or can play in the cups and that kind of thing. So yeah, so I was surprised when he first chatted at me. Sometimes I'm like, "What are you about? Who's this guy? I can't find him." And then when you run the stats on him, you get some pleasant surprises. And this kid has got some hallmarks here that he could be something special.
Yeah. It's interesting, and just in case anyone did miss it, it was a Sam Maguire exclusive. As it says there, for those of you who haven't got the visual, Liverpool are keeping a close eye on Warren Zaire-Emery and prepared to go big on him if given encouragement. The PSG youngster ticks a lot of boxes for Arne Slot. And I like that one as well, Bart, because when you, as you said, you put it up against the mark stats, you put it up against the FB ref. It actually, we're always pleased because sometimes I know you scoff at my suggestions a little bit or where I put these things on the map, but I only get what we get, so I put them to you. Is it fair to say for you, quite clear and understandable, why Liverpool will be looking at an 18-year-old kid with some pretty damn good FB ref, mark stats, passing, distance contest, and thinking, yeah, you could see for 18 now and these minutes already, this kid could be, probably it's fair to say for his age, already is special, but in terms of longer term, clear why they like him.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there would be a tax on playing La Liga because it's lower down. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's not as bad as Eredivisie. I think it's just below bully, so you're probably talking about 15% tax. But no, like for an 18-year-old kid who's progressive, who's when you make a step up from making a big load of minutes to then your second season kind of thing, that's a cliche, but to maintain the level of that stat line and improve on some areas and increase the volume of passing, so he's not going away. That's good. I mean, there's a Conte that said Grab 22. True, Grab is 22. But the other thing about Grab is he could play as an 8. Yeah, if you get another kid who can, this guy looks like he's just out pivot player. If he just comes in and sits in there, you can free Grab up to release some minutes on one of our other players, right? Because currently we only have 4 midfielders that Slot really, really wants to play. Yes, Endo's getting more minutes. I don't think Endo's going to start any big important games between now and the end of the season. I'll be really surprised if I'm wrong on that. But it would be nice to have the options to play Grab a little bit higher up if you need to, or to play someone next to Grab. It just give you another range of options. Or if you bring this lad in and you play next to Grab, you could put Mac higher up. It gives you another set of options. So I'm not saying Grab is over the hill. Please don't take that. But it's just an 18-year-old kid to be doing. It's like we said with Hato. For a kid to be doing some of the stuff that he's doing, these are the profiles that the club is looking at. The club is looking at younger players between 18 and 22 and trying to bulk up that amount, because if you get them early on, there could be something special. You develop, you give them minutes, and then they're set for us for 4 or 5 years, and we get the best out of them. And that has always kind of been a model that the club has been trying to aspire to. We just lost our way a little bit, should we say, keeping some of the older players a little bit too long. But no, for me, this is an age profile of player we should be getting. If we can get him cheap, this is a Brighton deal. This is what Brighton would do, personally.
I think the problem will be PSG, Parisian kid, the money. We'd love it to be cheap, but it just seems like that is going to be the ultimate player. But from everything we're seeing about this player on a stats mark, he does seem special. And Darius has put there, Isaac, Emery, and Hato would be my dream summer. If you've seen our stats, if you've seen this show, all 12 so far, you'd know we would take that all day long.